Hello everyone, welcome back to the second installation of unPUNDITRY. Turn off your PlayStations, put the kids to sleep. We're talking all things Premier League. I'm your host Lucas. With me is Stuart. Say hello.
Hello.
We're going to be reviewing game week 6 of the Premier League. And just to let you know that there's absolutely no point in looking at the table at the moment because it's so unpredictable. And a lot of my predictions were not right. I don't know about Stuart. Probably the same. Probably for most people, in fact.
We'll see shortly.
That's right. So, the first cab off the rank, we've got Aston Villa versus Leeds. Everyone tipped Villa to win, including myself, Stuart, I think, as well. But Leeds triumphantly winning 3-0, all 3 goals going to Patrick Bamford, which coincidentally is the first Leeds player to score in his opening 3 games of a top flight division since 1937-38, and that was Gordon Hodgson. Leeds are not a myth, okay? They're not a myth. They're here to stay. Marco Bielsa's done a great job. I think Aston Villa need to do a few more Bielsa squats to get their legs going if they want to compete with the best this season. My man of the match was Patrick Bamford.
We all want to know how the multi went. I had Aston Villa to win. I've already lost it. Aston Villa did not win. I had Ollie Watkins to have 2 or more shots on target, and he did not get that. That was another loss. But the big win of the night, both teams to score, I did say no. I thought Aston Villa would, but both teams to score, I said no. That is a win of a leg. Good win. On to the next.
1 from 3. So, next match, we've got Manchester City versus West Ham. The Czechs linking up to very well. Kufal and Souček combining well for the Antonio's opening goal out of nothing, completely out of nothing, bodying, I think it was Ruben Diaz, scoring over his head past Edison. So I think City probably deserved to win during the amount of chances that they had and the way they played, but West Ham really got stuck in. They fought for the draw. No Ben Rama for West Ham, interesting enough. They didn't create too much. But then again, I think their game plan was definitely just to sit back and contain City. And a notable mention was João Cancelo for me, finally showing some of his worth. He really dominated down that left-back side, bursting up the wing, creating chances, and setting up Phil Foden, who came on, I think, for Aguero. Phil Foden was playing, I think, down the centre, which is definitely his best position for me. João Cancelo was my man of the match.
Did the multi win? No, it did not. I had both teams to score, yes, and that did win. I had Jared Bowen to have 1 or more shot on target. He didn't. And Raheem Sterling, anytime goal scorer, did not score. I did say that it was most likely going to be a draw. I didn't put money on that. I probably should have in hindsight. On to the next match.
Who would have thought it would have been a draw, Stuart? Who would have thought?
I did last week.
Oh.
I said that many times. On to the next match.
Next match, that's right. So the next one, we've got Crystal Palace versus Fulham. Palace won 2-0. But I'm just going to talk about Zaha for a bit. Wilfred Zaha, he's still elite. I think he's elite. Stuart, I don't know if you think he's elite. I remember last week you were talking about him not being very good, very inconsistent.
Kind of is.
Nah, I think he's elite. I think he's a lot better than Nicolas Pepe. I'm going to give him Pepe one more season. One more season. If he doesn't do anything, throw him out. Honestly, Arsenal should have spent 70 mil on Zaha. He's proven he's elite. I'm sorry. He's that good. He's that good. Anyway, let's talk about the game. Lookman looked great again. He hit both posts in the matter of minutes, creating for Fulham, even though they lacked a lot of that cutting edge. I think Mitrovic, again, very frustrated with his performance, but I think Fulham played into the hands of Palace as well. Palace deadly on the counter-attack, and if it wasn't for Tom Kenny's late goal for outside the box, my prediction of 2-0 would have been correct. I'm going to say Andros Townsend was my man of the match.
Did the multi win? No, it did not. I had Fulham to win. I lost that. Both teams to score, yes. That's 3 from 3 on both teams to score. And Alexander Mitrovic to have 2 or more shots on target. I lost that as well. On to the next match.
Yeah, just like you said, both teams to score. I think there was a stat. It was about the Premier League this season's averaging about 3.5 goals a game, which is like 1 goal more at least than previous seasons. I don't know if that's due to VAR, handball rule, no crowds. Who knows? Could be any of those. So, Moving on to arguably the biggest match of the week was Manchester United versus Chelsea at the Theatre of Dreams, Old Trafford, more like the Theatre of Beans. Very good joke, thanks. Two managers really wanting to... all right, let's calm down. All right. I feel like both managers, Solskjaer and Lampard, really want to prove something to their fans, especially that they are worthy of the job. I think United sat back a bit more, as well as Chelsea. They'll both be conservative in the way they played. It was very rainy, very wet, and I feel like both teams were capitalising on the other's mistakes. And if it wasn't for Edouard Mendy making a few good saves towards the end of the game, United could have definitely run away with that. Also, noticeable that, I don't know if you saw Maguire's challenge in the air on Azpilicueta. I think it was him. His arm was around his neck. No penalty, no worries. I think that's a penalty every day of the week. Edouard Mendy was my man of the match.
Another multi, another loss. Draw, I won that leg. Marcus Rashford, anytime goal scorer, did not. And over 2.5 goals, it's hard to get that when it's a 0-0 draw onto the next match.
Agreed. Liverpool versus Sheffield. Now, it was going to be interesting to see if Sheffield could break that Liverpool line without Van Dijk. They did, but not in a conventional way. Fabinho making a challenge that deemed to be inside the box. I think he got a little bit of a hot-headed moment. He made a mistake in the lead-up to his tackle, and he wanted to rectify that, but he did the opposite. Firmino scoring his first goal of the season. So I don't know if you saw Salah's disallowed goal, but the commentators were saying it was Bergkamp-esque with his first touch and finish. It was very nice. And Jota rising above the Sheffield defence, headering home the winner. 2-1 to Liverpool, and Liverpool still haven't lost at Anfield since April 2017, and my man of the match was Alisson.
Another multi. Did we win this one? It was very close, very close. Liverpool win, I won that leg. A goal scored in both halves. I won that as well. Liverpool to have 6 or more shots on target. They got 5. Lost. On to the next match.
Next match was Southampton versus Everton. Everyone was very eager going into this one. Two good sides in good form. But Everton had no creativity. I don't know if James Rodriguez had an underlying injury. I think he was injured, but the first half, Sigurdsson did hit the crossbar. But then Ings turned creator, setting up, I think it was both of the goals. But Everton just looked second best the whole night. Calvert-Lewin barely getting any touches, and Southampton were just getting through their press too easily. The space between the defensive line and the midfield line was very large, and just one ball just ripped open Everton, and they kept on doing that consistently throughout the game. And also the red card for Luca Digne really killed the game off. Everton kind of gave up after that. My man of the match was James Ward-Prowse.
Absolutely butchered this multi. 3 losses. 3 leg losers. 3 legs lost. Something like that. Everton to win. Everton lost. Danny Ings to have 2 or more shots on target. Didn't even register 1. And Alex Iwobi to have 1 or more shot on target. I thought he was going to do well. He did not do well. On to the next match.
Shame. Wolves versus Newcastle. For the 4th straight meeting in a row, Wolves versus Newcastle has been a 1-1 draw. Jimenez scoring again, his 4th of Wolves' 6 total goals. Perhaps a bit of a reliance on Jimenez at the moment. And only Newcastle's second shot on target turned up being a goal. Was it Murphy? I think it was Murphy. And for me, Daniel Podence was the man of the match.
Another multi, another loss. We keep going. Raul Jimenez, anytime goal scorer, got that. Under 2.5 goals, got that as well. Roman Saiz to be booked. It was one of my riskier legs. I knew it was risky. The risk didn't pay off. On to the next match. Arsenal
versus Leicester. Pretty lackluster game, if I'm honest with you. Arsenal, again, lacking that creative edge. Perhaps they miss Ozil. I've just noticed it was an announcement that he was not registered or in the 25-man squad for the Premier League, or in Europe to be exact. He's said his thoughts on Twitter, I believe. I don't know what he said exactly. It was a bit political. Go ahead and have a look at that if you want to read into it further. And Vardy was the difference, coming on with 30 minutes to go. Scored a goal, won the game. That's it, really. My man of the match was Vardy.
Another butchered of a multi. Arsenal to win. Arsenal did not win. Aubameyang, anytime goal scorer. If he's played on the left, he will not score anything or do anything. And both teams to score. I did yes, I lost that. On to the next game.
West Brom versus Brighton. West Brom dominated the first half. Brighton dominated the first half. They looked good. Morpie was difficult to handle. He did have a goal ruled out. And then Lamptey causing some mayhem, and Branislav Ivanovic kicking the ball straight into his captain's chest and going into the back of the net. Pereira was close. He was tricky all game. Harlan Grant scoring the winner. I do think Matt Ryan could have done a bit better. He premeditated the shot. He could have waited a bit, but what do I know? I'm not a professional. Callum Robinson was my man of the match.
I'm just throwing money away at this point. Another multi, another loss. Neil Maupay to have 2 or more shots on target. If Livermore didn't steal that goal, I reckon I'll win that leg. Both teams to score, yes, and over 10 number of corners. I could not even begin to know the statistic for how many corners they were, but I did lose that leg. On to the next match.
So the last game of the week was Burnley versus Spurs. I think Burnley can be a bit disappointed with this result. They did hold out well. You could see what they were trying to do. Maybe perhaps the Burnley of old, the last couple of seasons, they have been a bit quieter, and they could be a little bit disheartened with how Tottenham scored their goal. Son being in the right place at the right time after Kane's glancing header. It's just a shame for Bournemouth, but Spurs grinding out the wins, which is what they have to do to stay up. My man of the match was Hugo Lloris.
Thought I'd end off the week with a positive note, but that did not happen. Tottenham to win, won that leg. Son Heung-min to score, I won that leg. Over 2.5 goals, Tottenham didn't go bananas at the back of the net like they usually do and held it to a 1-0 win. No more matches for the rest of the week, on to the next week.
That's right, Stuart, and we'll be back with a preview of Game Week 7 very shortly. Thanks for watching. See you later.